Hare Krishna, welcome to the Sunday program. Topic is how to awaken faith in God and Shastra. Just move this away from the table a little. So the topic is concerned with nowadays there's a different worldview, how people see this world. Okay, among especially young people. If we want to find out any information, a fact or a point, where do we search? Normally we search science. What is science saying? Is spinach good for you? Let's see what doctors say, what science is saying. Okay. It's not that we're going to ask science. We go online. We check internet. If we want to know any information. Is it okay to be in the eclipse or not? We check what the scientists say. No problem, you can go. All right, listen. So, but we'll go online, and everything information that we have is coming from science nowadays. That's the source of all knowledge nowadays. Science or academia. Okay, so then we accept that knowledge. So now in India, of course we are speaking about Hindus, but then we have some Muslims, Christians. They go to school and accept whatever they learn in school and as the media. And in the media, they accept what is information. They'll not really accept what is Shastra saying. No, generally people don't see that. When we go to school, we learn school is saying something, we accept that. It's not that we don't say, okay, that we are not Hindus. We are, but still we are looking at science. We look at what doctors are saying about things, what biologists, astronomers, we listen to what they are saying. Okay, and then we'll go to religious places and to festivals, we'll go for that, but we'll not fully accept that as our thought generally. This is among modern people. Okay, so but when asked, okay, what religion are you? They'll say, okay, I'm Hindu, or even Christians and Muslims. But they're going to the school and getting that knowledge and speaking from that knowledge. Okay. In other words, science. So in college, if we want to present some scientific fact, no one is in our projects and our work, we'll never quote the Vedas. If you do, they'll argue you wrong. Oh, but Vedas is saying that. That is not in the syllabus. Even the professor, he might be Hindu, and student is a Hindu, but we are not going to look at the Hindu knowledge, the Vedic. We are looking at science. Okay, it's not that Vedas are not scientific. For example, Srimad Bhagavatam, it has knowledge on embryology. That means it's explaining in Srimad Bhagavatam at what stage of development does the embryo get eyes, nose, the spine. It's detailed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even measurements of time are detailed. 1/10,000 of a second, 1/100, 1/12 of a second, and then millions of years, billions of years. This information is given. Okay, but we're not looking at that. And then, for example, Surya Siddhanta gives astronomical calculations. But again, people won't look at that. Ayurveda gives medical information, but anyone doing medicine will never quote Ayurveda. Otherwise, you will fail. You have to quote whatever the modern medical knowledge is. Now, does this mean that we are not Hindus? No, it's not that people think they're not Hindus, but that we are taught to think from this way. But religion will follow that. But we'll never take that knowledge, generally, I'm saying. Okay, and same with God also. Vedas say that light and sound are expansion of energy of God. But when we are studying physics, we'll not say that. We'll say it's energy being propagated in a medium, in photons, whatever. We understand also from Vedas, God is expanded as super soul in all beings and is giving knowledge to the animals what to do. How does animals know what to do? Inside Paramatma is communicating. But what we are taught that it is instinct, this word, instinct. But if you ask them, what is instinct? We cannot really answer. Okay, so in this way, knowledge is given. For example, in human beings, Bhagavad Gita says that digestion is carried out by Vaishvanara. It's a fire within the body. But then we are studying other things in biology. No one talks about Vaishvanara, Vishnu is there. So I'm trying to explain this point. The point is that even though we will be following certain religion, accepting, but the knowledge source we don't take. We are trained to think externally from science and other things. And if anyone tries to push the idea of the Vedas as knowledge, they will not be accepted in academia. They'll say this person is a fanatic, or he's primitive, or rural, or for uncultured person. He didn't go to school or college. That's the idea generally. Now why is this? Why do we compartmentalize religion? Compartmentalize means I'm not taking it in my complete existence as vision. I'm taking it as my religion. This is religion compartment. Then you have my profession compartment and my study. It's different. Not that we put it in all of them. Actually, we are devotees of modern science. Okay, some may call themselves Muslims or Christians or Hindus, but actually we are all following modern science as a religion, you can say. That we'll accept this, whatever it's saying. Even though there's nothing about God, and it may contradict the Vedic view, but we'll accept. This is how we are taught in the modern system. We do not have faith in Shastra and God, but externally we'll identify as a Hindu in our culture, in our dress, but when the deep thought comes, that is influenced by what we studied in a young age, how we are seeing the world. It's called worldview. What is our worldview? It's modern scientific. It's not Vedic, it's not really Hindu in that per se. Okay, shall we do some examples? Let me give some examples. Okay, how many people are Hindus? Okay, one by one. You are so many. Okay, so I'll ask question. Okay, Abhinav, tell me, is sun going around the earth or earth going around the sun? Say whatever you want. It's okay. Earth is going around the sun. Okay, but Srimad Bhagavatam says no. Sun is going around the earth. Okay. See, I'm not targeting. This is all of us. We are not. It's not our issue. We grew up in this system, we just took it like that. But I'm just, because this is the title, so I'm telling you how I came to this title. Okay, now he's saying, and I'm sure all of you will say, earth is going around the sun. That's what we are taught. But Bhagavatam says, no, sun is going around the earth. And not only going round, but going round and down. Then, what happens on June 26th? Don't say Republic Day. There's Uttarayana. Uttarayana means the sun starts going north. What does that mean? Sun is going around, it's going down. But at that second, then it starts going up. Goes up and round, then reaches the top. Then Dakshinayana means it starts going down then. Okay, so in this way, this is what's explained. Okay, but this is our Shastra. And as Hindu, as Sanatan Dharma followers, we are meant to accept Shastra. But we learnt in school this and we'll accept. And if someone, now we push the idea, no, sun is going around, it will be very shocking, we will not accept. Okay. Now another thing. What is the origin of sunlight? How is sunlight coming from the sun? What is generating the sunlight? Okay. Harish, you want to try? Atoms, fission. Okay. But Bhagavatam is saying, no, there is a Surya Bhagwan, he's on his chariot and he's emitting the light from the chariot wheel. Okay? What? Okay, let's see more here. Is there heaven and hell? What do you think? What do you think, Surya? Okay, you're saying it. Now you're going to change. Okay. You have to be frank. Don't worry. I mean, it's not. We are trying to get the. Okay. What happens after you die? What happens? Subham, what happens after you die? Huh? Okay. And then? Okay, see, now, what he's saying, you'll all say, it's not that I'm targeting him, the idea I'm targeting. Actually, we are not accepting that. If we accept it, we'll be very careful what we are doing. We may accept, but we don't have any faith. It's there. But that's how we are brought up, It's not our fault. This is the system of education. Okay, one more thing. Is it okay for a girl and a boy to associate before marriage and have sexual relations? Yes or no? Is it okay? No? Really? Do you accept that? Okay, because you're in a temple, you'll say that. Yeah, now Shastra says that what will happen after death, we'll be forced to embrace a red hot form of a woman in hell. Then we'll take birth again, but we'll undergo suffering. But no one accepts that. If we did, then we'll not be doing things we're doing. I mean, none of you are doing that, I'm just saying. Okay, illicit relation with men and women. But even though people are Hindus, but they don't know this, or they may know, but they don't accept. We are not having faith in these things. Okay? Okay, next thing. What is giving life? Now I'm alive. Someone is dead. Now all of you are old, you'll know what to say. Where is consciousness coming from? Okay, I'm not going to ask that question. You all. Okay. Okay. This is an important one. Do men and women have the same duties and same roles in society? No? No? Okay. The deity form of the Lord, is it a stone or is it God? Is it God? Oh, but if you accept that, you should be going to the temple. No one is going. In 1 week, there's a temple here, Vishnu temple. Hardly, we will not say students. So, see, we have that knowledge. Okay, here's one. This is all from Vedas, okay? It's all from the Vedas. I'm quoting. This is from Dharma Shastra. Now, according to modern age, or what you think, what age should a woman get married?
18.
You're saying 18?
Her choice.
Huh? You're saying her choice? Okay. Shastra says that by the time that the woman has her first period, she should be married, otherwise it's a sin. It's a sin. This is what Shastra is saying. But now they're saying 21, 18. This is what Manu Samhita is explaining. Dharma Shastra says this. This is when the women should be married. But now you see in the modern age, now, and of course they shouldn't be in illicit relation. But now there's someone in the news a few days ago who's saying no, women should be given consent at age 16 to be legal. Yeah, but marriage should be 21. That means 4 years they're allowed to have illicit relation. This is man-made laws which are faulty. Okay, so the whole point I want to emphasize is that, you see, we may be following Sanatana Dharma, identifying as that, but we are not really taking the knowledge. We don't even know what is in Shastra. Generally, people don't have faith in Shastra. Okay, we don't have faith in Vedas and in God. We live our normal scientific way. That's what we are taught in the school. No one is going to follow. Okay, God gave the Vedas. We will not accept this. Some are questioning. Or even if we don't question, we'll say we accept. But in our mind, we are doubting. How is this? Is it true? Oh, shall I accept this? And it's not modern, whatever. So in Shastra, one who doesn't accept Vedas is known as a Nastik. Astik means religion. Astikya means religiosity. And Nastik means atheist. So one who doesn't accept the Vedas is known as a Nastik. We've been brought up to study in school. Even our parents are putting us study, okay, and study in the school, get all the knowledge, okay. And after some time, then we don't understand what are the Vedas for. What is the point? Everything is in the school. Everything is in science. We don't need religion. Then when they tell practice religion, why? What is the point? Like this, okay. So if we don't have faith in the Vedas, then definitely we won't read it, or we won't take religion very seriously. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana, we will not read. Our plan is, how is this world working? We need money. How we get money? Get a job. So do the degree, and that's it. Now, where does Ramayana fit in? I don't understand. Or where does Gita fit in this? Actually, this is not the proper way. We don't understand. And later in life, people get a roadblock, some disturbance in life, and they can't understand what is the point of life, and they become sad or disturbed. They call it midlife crisis. But now it doesn't happen in midlife. It happens earlier, age 20, 18. And at that point, they don't have answers. But they should have studied the Vedas. Then they'll understand what is the meaning of life. Okay. So we may think that it's our religion and culture, so we'll read a little and accept it. But we won't be able to accept Krishna, Ram completely and surrender, because we are brought up to think, subtly, it's not taught directly, subtly that this has nothing to do with religion in this world. There's no use for it. Everything is in science. Science has solved the problem, and everything we need is there. We are not even against science, because Vedas are science. But atheistic science, where there is no concept of God, this is not correct, because Sarvam Khal Vidam Brahma, everything came out of God, and everything is His laws. So generally we are basing everything on science. This is a problem in modern society, because we study the British system, which is explaining everything without God. So we have no faith in Vedas, and we have to awaken this faith. Awaken the faith. What is the Veda actually? What knowledge have we missed from birth? What are the Vedas? How it fits in our life? What we are meant to follow? Okay? Because the only way of perfection will come from Shastra. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Religious systems are given by God in the Vedas. And through that we will get liberation, relief from suffering. One thing science could not give is happiness, because it's going against nature. What is the plan of this world? Everything should be done in harmony with God. Yajnathat karmano. But we are not acting in that way. And so we have many reactions and many kinds of sufferings in human society, individually and collectively, because we have gone against nature. Even devatas are refusing to cooperate. There are tsunamis, floods, earthquakes. These are kinds of punishment. I explained in Bhagavad Gita. Yo bhukte stena eva saha. In chapter 3, one who does not do yajna, does not do the prescribed samskars, then there will be a reaction. Now more and more natural disasters are increasing, wars are increasing, and according to Bhagavatam, these are reactions for things which we do wrong. Okay, so the only way to stop suffering, the Vedas explain, is we have to come in our constitutional position. But we don't have faith in Vedas. Modern science can never give happiness. First of all, science is based on human knowledge. Okay, and how do they get that knowledge? Through their senses. I do an experiment, I get an answer, then this is science, this is what I found out. Okay, everyone studied this in college. Okay. Now the problem is that human senses are not perfect. We make a lot of mistakes. Today what you are studying in science, I studied 20 years ago, it will not be the same. And it will not be the same 20 years from now. And what did they call it? Progress. We are making progress. We are getting to know more. That means everything I studied was a lie, was a fake. And then, so how can I go to college and school and learn these things if I'm being told it's something wrong later? So we are getting knowledge from senses, humans. Then they call it science. But there's a problem because our senses are not perfect. Sometimes we hear a sound and we are thinking, where did it come from? Oh, I heard a phone ring. Whose phone rang? Everyone's checking their phone. We don't have accurate senses. From far away we'll see something and we saw something else. We can't see the knob of the bus, it's too far away. How big is the sun? If you ask a child, this big. This is our vision, the sun looks that big. Is it really that big? Now I want to prove to you how defective our senses are. Okay? We'll do a practical. There are questions, okay? One by one we can answer. Okay, one question. How many black dots are between the black squares? Huh? How many? Are they black dots? But if we look in the center, the edges are looking like they are black dots. And we try to count, we don't see. These are our senses. Next one. Are these two lines the same length? Yes or no? Quickly. Yes. Actually, the question is giving the answer. But anyone, if I don't put this, if you just look, and if it's not a question, you may think it's different. It looks like the top one is longer. Okay? Now let's look at two lines which are not parallel. These two lines. They're curved, aren't they? In the middle, it's curved. What do you think? Doubt. Everyone is looking. Actually, they're parallel, isn't it? But look at that from our eyes. Look how it looks. Okay, these are parallel lines. Are these lines parallel? What do you think? No? You're saying no. Okay. No? Who says no? Okay. They are parallel. You see the illusion. If you look from the left and the right, they're the same. The distance between the lines. In between, the eyes are playing tricks with us. Imperfect senses. Okay, now, next one. Look at that ball. Okay? Is the purple structure moving or not? Because is it a gift? Some gifts move, huh? Picture. I don't know how it looks to you, but it looks like as if it's moving, okay? Optical illusions. With these eyes now we want to measure. Okay, last one. Is this a gift with moving circles or are the circles still? So yeah, they look like they're moving, but they're not moving. Yeah? So now this is the level of our eyesight. With this eyesight we want to establish knowledge. And maybe for small things we can use this. But if we want to find out what happens after death, how far is the sun from the earth, I mean, they're big questions which are very serious. Then if you want to rely on your eyes, it's a problem. Because I just showed you how eyes are not reliable. Senses are not reliable. Okay, the Vedas explain 3 ways of getting knowledge. Some of you would have heard about this because we go over it periodically. Okay. Okay, we say senses are not perfect, all right? And I mentioned that how can we trust our senses and acquire perfect knowledge? This is eyes, but ears also. You will hear a noise, you don't know where it came from. Okay? There's an experiment we did, I remember in our high school. We put one finger in a cold bowl, another in a hot bowl. Then in the middle they put a room temperature bowl. After cold and hot, you put both in the room temperature. The hot one becomes cold, the cold finger becomes hot. The question is this water hot or cold? Senses are defective. We cannot get knowledge from our senses. It's not reliable. Basic things like I'm feeling hot or cold. But if you want to go deeper, what happens after death? You want to trust these senses. So now let's look at it. There are 3 ways of acquiring knowledge in the Vedas. Okay? How many are familiar with this? I'll explain it. There's something called epistemology in English, which is Pramana Shastra in Vedas. That studies the art of how to get knowledge. Okay, now the first one. These are three ways of getting knowledge. First, we get knowledge through senses. Okay, that is, I'm sitting here and I hear peacock. So my senses tell me there's a peacock there, so I'm thinking there's a peacock. I'm trusting my senses. Second, Anuman, hypothesis. It's based on the first one. I heard the sound of a peacock, but I'm thinking, I'm sitting here in basement. How can a peacock come here? I'm in the middle of the city. Now I'm starting to think of my previous knowledge and experience. This is called Anuman. But it's based on what I heard before and my experience. So then I think, I'm trying to think and see. Okay, now third way of getting knowledge, authority. I'm sitting here, I hear sound of a peacock. And so what I do, I ask somebody standing there, can you see a peacock? No, there's no peacock here, there's a phone, someone put his ringtone as a peacock. So best thing is, I ask somebody who's there, that's the, So these are three ways of getting knowledge. The Vedas explain. Now one question, which is used the most? All of us got knowledge now. Material knowledge, all kind of knowledge. Till now in your life, which of these three did you use the most? Huh? You say Shabda? You think? Authority, you think? Okay. Actually the answer is yes, Shabda. Shabda. Because look, you're in college now, you learn so much. You're not asking the professor, is this really the truth? I don't know, you have to prove it to me. No, we are accepting. Yeah? They're explaining about digital signal processing and we accept it. We accept everything. When they examine, you come and write the answer. We write what we were taught. Shabda is how we accept knowledge. Throughout our life, we take that as authority. This is natural. Okay, now, but let's see which is the best one. What is the best system of getting knowledge? Of those three on top. Okay, you're saying Shabda. Alright. Yeah, that is the best because you get the most accurate knowledge. Okay. So, we are seeing that most of our knowledge came from authority. In the whole schooling system, you're taught and you accept it. Nobody's questioning. Nobody's questioning which country lies north of USA. North of USA, America, there's a country. What country is that? Canada. How is he saying? Okay. Are you sure? 100%. Okay. Have you been to Canada? No. See, he's 100% sure. He took it as authority, but he has not been there. So this idea of accepting knowledge without verifying authority is a normal practice in our life. Because we know that I cannot go everywhere and check. I can't check everything I'm told. Every day I'll open the newspaper and accept it. This is what is happening. We are accepting it. Okay. So now when it comes to Vedas, somehow something goes wrong. How can we accept this knowledge? It's written by a man. It's ancient. Who knows what's true? But we already spoke. We said that in college we had learned Shabda. At some point we cannot check all the knowledge. We have to accept another authority. So Vedas are written. Previously in Sanatana Dharma, people accepted the Vedas without question. Everything that was mentioned. And why? Because of the same idea that I cannot go and check the map, so I'll accept it. I cannot check what is above this universe. Vedas is saying I'll accept. But then people have a big problem. What problem do they have? Two problems. One is that how can we accept this authority? How can I base my life on a book? But we are doing that. We base our life on a physics book, a science book, biology, medical book. We do it. Second thing is, some of the things written in the Vedas are very fantastic. People think, how is it that we can have a talking monkey? How is it someone can have a head for an elephant? People aren't able to accept that. But what reason are they giving? I never seen that. So is it true that if I have not seen something, it doesn't exist? No, there are many things I have not seen in my life. I cannot say because I have not seen it doesn't exist. A very common example I give. Like if someone is challenging and I ask that person, do you have an intelligence? Then he may say, yes. Let me see your intelligence. Where is it? I cannot show it. Therefore I conclude you don't have an intelligence. It's not true. We cannot conclude just because it's not in my experience, it doesn't exist. So in the Vedas, there will be things which we are shocked, but that is no excuse for not accepting. And this idea of accepting something blindly, that is there, that culture is there in Sanatana Dharma. Otherwise we'll never get higher knowledge. You see, and I keep giving example that we have something there called the Goloka chart, which is taken from the Vedas. Right at the bottom is the material world. Then explaining Haridham, Vishnu's Dham, then Krishna's Dham. It's a model of the spiritual world. What is happening, how everything is working. All this is from the Vedas. I can have access to that knowledge because I am accepting the Vedas. Through the Vedas I am having knowledge and I accept that I am a soul and the soul has consciousness which is animating the body and giving life, and I can feel my thumb here. Even though I am present here, but I can feel this. Why? Because the soul is exhibiting consciousness by which it is cognizant, is able to get knowledge. So, because I accept the Vedas, I can get higher knowledge. And I can get knowledge science can never tell us. Okay? For example, what gives emotions? Now all of you are, many of you are studying science and engineering backgrounds. And we have some common knowledge of science. According to your knowledge, where does emotion come from? Which chemical? Emotions. What does science say? Beta? Huh? Hormones. What? Okay, dopamine. Dopamine? That's a drug, no? Oh. That gives happiness. Okay. Now, if I have a dead body, I say, okay, make it happy, give it emotion. Can you inject that chemical and do it? Science cannot explain emotion. What they can't explain, they cleverly just avoid the topic. Don't teach it at all. Okay? We'll never get that answer with science. Where's emotions coming from? Okay, another one. There are some birds which can make a perfect nest, weaving like a tailor. Perfectly, it will support, it will hang on something. Have you seen it? How is the bird doing that? Where is that knowledge coming from? Scientists will say, instinct. Now you ask them, what is instinct? What do you mean by instinct? Actually, what we understand from Shastra, that Krishna expands as the super soul and gives the knowledge to animals and birds as they need it. Okay, next thing. Of course, I was born in a coastal area. And what happens, at a certain time, turtles, you know what are turtles? They come from the ocean, come on the beach, lay their eggs, bury them, and they go away. They will not come back. Turtles, little baby ones, are born at a certain time. They come out and they go into the sea and swim and enter. Who is telling the turtles to go to the sea? Why aren't they going on the main road to the city? From inside they're guided. Again, science will say instinct. That's easy, just to put that one word. But answers like this we'll never find if we don't accept Vedas, because then we get deeper knowledge, understanding about the Paramatma. Okay, how does the brain work? Still we don't know. Science doesn't know how the brain works. It's a mass of flesh. Somehow there. But by the way, brain has nothing to do with memory and intelligence. Intelligence is given by the Paramatma. Memory is given in the super soul, in the subtle body. The proof is out of body experience. Some people, when they're having operations or when they almost die, they come out and see their body. At that stage, they have all the knowledge they have. They can even use intelligence. But the brain is there. According to Vedas, the brain connects the gross body and subtle body. It's the binding force. So that when someone is brain dead, they're still alive, but they cannot move because subtle body is refusing. The gross body is refusing to listen to the subtle body. Okay. Another thing in science, what makes the heart beat? Where's the energy coming from? No one knows. They don't know that. You ask modern science. But if you ask an Ayurveda, they'll say it's coming from the soul. Soul is located in the heart, it gives energy for beating, whole life. Birds emigrate thousands of kilometers in the summer. They'll go in a triangular formation, in discipline. Who's doing that? Paramatma. So, as we said, that if we do not accept authorized knowledge of the Vedas, then we can never have high access to knowledge, which in Vedic culture they had very high knowledge and understanding of the environment, of the body, of everything. Because of the Vedas is vast, it contained all knowledge. Vedas had knowledge, how even now it's there. How you can see someone's face and judge their character by the shape of the eye, the ear, nose, lip, face. You can judge the character of someone. You can understand. And Nimitta Shastra, who knows about that? That I'm walking and someone crosses the road with an empty bucket. Oh, rain is coming. Or, I mean, I don't know these, or yeah, there's when the dog starts barking loudly and growling and barking, it means something bad is about to happen. Nimitta. There's a whole Shastra how to tell. And that is in Srimad Bhagavatam. There's some section, some sign someone saw and said, I saw this sign, this is going to happen. There's a lot of knowledge which we are just blocked because we refuse to look at the Vedas. But you cannot do this with our senses. It has to be beyond. Okay? So, we have to accept the Vedas. Now we don't accept, but then we'll be limited. Okay? A child, where at a young age, the mother tells the child, this is your father. Now, the child is completely dependent on the mother. How can he say, how do you know? How can I trust you? And do a DNA test or whatever. You cannot. In the same way, Vedas are known as our mother and the Guru is our father. So, everything we ask the Vedas, and the Vedas has got all knowledge for our benefit. It has a divine origin. It's meant to give all knowledge, material and spiritual. And in this way, we get phenomenal, huge amount of knowledge, science, spirituality, even how to fight a war, even how to build a Viman, that is there, Vimana Shastra. Now, whether we accept or not, then people are not accepting it, but how to dance, how to sing, all the arts are in the Vedas. I'll tell you another thing, which may be difficult for you to accept, and which we can substantiate by a test. All the modern knowledge we have today in science is from the Vedas. They're saying he invented that, they invented this, everything is from the Vedas. Even now they have the Sanskrit shloka for Pythagoras' theorem. They have the shloka for how the different, one sun ray has so many rays, colors, spectrum. They have these verses. And Prabhupada, our founder, explained which Veda they went in to invent the aeroplane. And they're saying some Wright brothers invented it. But that even now, we know, if you go on internet, they found it wasn't Wright brothers, it was someone from Maharashtra who made it. You know this? You don't know. Just Google it. Then the British took it from him. He made some kind of flying object and he took it from the Vedas. So, actually all modern knowledge is coming from there, but it was passed down generations, some part of it was developed, etc. Okay, so now, therefore, our proposal is that we have to accept the Vedas. They are perfect. Now, if you're saying, because you said, some of you, Shabda is the best way to get knowledge. Now, I'm saying, put your Shabda not in science, put it in the Vedas. But your question may be, what if it's wrong? So my answer is, if it's wrong, you find what is wrong, I'll accept, don't follow. Find one mistake. But I'll find how many mistakes in science? I'll not find it. Just wait 10 years. Everyone will find it, and then they'll say, oh, we advanced, we got new knowledge. So the Vedas themselves explain how old they are, what is there, and how we should accept it. Actually, the source of all science, there are people in colleges saying this today. The source of all physical, chemical, biological knowledge is coming from science, from the Vedas. The word is there for mammals. Where does this word mammals, where does it come from? Who knows? Did you remember? We studied this. Mammal comes from the word mammary. What is mammary gland? And the word mummy comes from there. Mammary gland is the gland in the woman which gives milk. Okay? So, mammals are those species which give milk. What's it called in Sanskrit? It's there in Sanskrit, in Shastra. They call Shirada. Shira means milk, Da means giving. The species are called Shirada. Now all you have to do is translate in the language of whoever's reading it and change it to mammals. So then from that word mammals comes mummy, and mammal means the species which give milk. So anyway, that's just one thing. In this way, a lot of sciences and things are coming from there. So, it is given in Shastra. In Shastra is given why you have to accept Shastra. It's called, I explained, Pramana Shastra. That was this. It's not so simple. There's much more complicated. Each of these three are further divided. But the Vedas give knowledge why we have to accept the Vedas. Why? Because senses are not perfect. And whatever your hypothesis is could be wrong, but Shabda is perfect. Actually, Shabda means authority, but Shabda means sound. Today, Shabda means a word in Hindi, in Sanskrit. But the ancient actual word means sound. The sound is trapped in that word. Shabda actually means sound. Shabda Brahma means spiritual sound. It's another word for the Vedas. Okay, so we do not have faith in Vedas today because we never studied from it and we are taught to just rely on science. But there's a reason for that. People became atheistic. They don't want to know God. People came to this material world to escape God. Krishna bhuli se jeev bhoga mancha kare nikatasthamay tare japati adhare. The jiva forgot Krishna, doesn't want to follow and want to do bhoga mancha, sense enjoyment. So even our education, everything is modeled that we just forget about God. Just enjoy. How to enjoy? Look, this is how this works, that works. Now you can get a job and do this work, get money and enjoy. No one is thinking about God. But according to the Vedas, all knowledge is stemming from knowledge of God. That knowledge of God will, Krishna says, Yomam evam asabura janati purushottama sasarvavit. One who knows me knows everything. All knowledge will be revealed to him. Science, medical, everything. So they emphasize that study. Okay, so today we don't have faith. We don't have faith because we brought up in this education system which doesn't talk about it. And now it may be, I have a Hindu name, a Sanatan Dharma name, I'll accept, yeah, but if you ask me a question, everything is coming from science, I'll not accept. I went online on YouTube and it said that Vedic astrology, and I just saw some videos and they're saying that the earth is going around the sun. That is not there. It's Bhagavatam says otherwise. Surya Siddhanta, Brahma Samhita, it's saying otherwise. But we are so ingrained we cannot take it. Okay, so, but that is human knowledge which is not perfect. How can we again awaken our faith? We have to accept this again. We have to accept, otherwise we cannot get liberation, we cannot advance. We cannot get the desire to read, even to read Shastra. That desire won't come because we are thinking it's a low priority. Why? What is the benefit? But the result is we will not get liberation, we will not get purification. Ashradadhana purusha dharmasyasa parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mityu samsara vartmani. Krishna says, those who don't have faith, ashradadhana purusha dharmasyasa, in this dharma, dharmasyasa parantapa aprapyamam, they'll never get the supreme goal. Nivartante mrityu samsara, they'll keep coming and taking birth in the human society, taking different bodies and suffering. So it should be our desire to awaken our knowledge of Shastra and why the Shastra is perfect. Okay, now how are we going to do that? Because 20 years, 19 years we are studying some different system which doesn't talk about Shastra. I'll tell you one simple way which I got. In this modern age, Vedic knowledge is represented again by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is Acharya of this modern age. He is empowered to present the knowledge in such a way that we can understand the principles and accept it. There are people now in America, in Africa and Europe who have taken the Vedas 100% and accept it. But there are many people in India who don't. And the difference is that we read the books of Prabhupada, because Prabhupada has taken the same Vedic concepts and he has explained concept of dharma, kartavya, all these things we have to understand again, which we all forgot, this knowledge. So to awaken our knowledge again, we have to understand these principles of how we have to acquire knowledge and how Shabda is the best. But really what we have to do, we have to read books of Prabhupada. By studying these books, which are now used in schools and colleges all over the world, then one can again understand what is the real position, what is real knowledge. And that knowledge is not coming from some man. It is the perfect Vedic spiritual knowledge. Therefore it will give you perfection. But human knowledge is not, we don't know if it's correct. They make up different laws, we are following those laws. We don't know if they're correct. Things may go wrong. But if we follow the Vedas, it's perfect. We get a perfect result. Okay, so Prabhupada is the Acharya now for the modern age in Kali Yuga. And his books, one professor commented in America, because he studied Vedic thought and everything. He's saying it's as if Vyas came again and wrote all the Vedas. Because Vyas wrote the Vedas, everyone got advantage. But Prabhupada came now, wrote all these books. Now we are reading Gita, Bhagavatam, and we are getting much deeper knowledge and understanding, which we couldn't understand. Many people read Gita, I can't understand, what is this? But we are reading from Prabhupada's and we are understanding. So we can again awaken faith in the Vedas. Okay, because if we don't have faith, if we don't understand the importance, then whole life will go. We'll not read Bhagavad Gita. We'll not understand why shall I read it. Oh, Bhagavatam, we're meant to read Bhagavatam. In Kali Yuga, Bhagavatam is the main text. When Krishna left at the end of Dwapar Yuga, Krishna swadhamupagate dharma jnana adibi saha. He took knowledge and dharma, because Kali Yuga had to start. Krishna swadhamupagate dharma jnana adibi saha. Kalau nashta darsham. Now in Kali Yuga, everyone lost their vision. Nobody understands what to do, what not to do, what is religious, what is not religious. Kalau nashta darshamesha puranarko dunoditaha. So these jivas who are lost, who have lost their vision, Puran Arka. Puran means Puranas. Arka means sun. This Bhagavat, this Purana is like a sun. Now, if I put up this light, you won't see anything. Only two lights are on. But because of the light, we're able to see. So, this will give you light to understand what is life, what is truth, what is the purpose of this body, what is the purpose of this world. And having gotten that knowledge, we'll be able to properly live our life for perfection. But we cannot do that unless we at least start reading the small books, or that motivation won't come. Okay? So, you know, right now if I tell all of you, don't have dinner, don't have breakfast tomorrow, don't have lunch, stop eating, you'll refuse. Because you know that if I don't eat, I'll get weak, I may die. But if I tell you stop reading Veda, yeah, okay. No one will protest. Why? Because we don't understand the impact. So that not understanding something may help us make a wrong decision. Okay, so this is the conclusion. That was the topic. How to awaken deeper knowledge, faith in Veda and God. And when you accept Veda, then we'll understand God. Because we'll understand God through the Vedas. Jiva Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. Having mercy on the Jivas, Krishna gave Veda and Puran that they can come out of the material world. Okay? So, please read these books, especially the small books of Srila Prabhupada. So many are here. There's a book table upstairs. Okay? You have your goals in life and your whatever path, but at least if you study these books side by side, then you'll also grow spiritually. Okay, any question? Hare Krishna. Yes, all right.
I have a few questions.
Yeah, okay.
So, first, with that point of sun going around Earth.
Yeah,
Earlier, I had that notion that Earth goes around the sun.
yeah,
And I believe that because there was reason behind it and simple logical understanding. Okay, that sun passes later, so because of gravity, it should go on like that.
okay.
So now, like to believe on Veda, I have faith on Veda, but this fact is new to me. So to believe on that, this fact, is there any reason back for this also, like how sun goes around Earth? Like why does it happen?
Yeah, there is. The answer is that if we study the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, they explain that this whole universe, in the center on the top there's a planet known as Shweta Dweep. In there, Vishnu is residing. In every universe, because there are many universes, Vishnu is residing in every universe at the top. And when avatars come, they come from him. So, out of respect, all the planets are going around him, around that planet. And so that is the only planet that doesn't move. Everyone knows this. In the desert, people who are crossing the desert, they look for the North Star. And people who are crossing the ocean, they know that every single star in this creation is moving except that one. It's called the North Star. They know that. So that planet does not move. Every other planet moves. So why does the sun go round? Out of respect, all of them are circumambulating just like we go around a temple. They all circumambulate. And Earth is situated on a disk. It's not moving because it's on a disk known as Jambu Dweep. And in the middle there's a Meru mountain. So they're not moving. We are not moving. But they are all going around. This is the explanation. Yeah.
For the second question, it was about that superstition thing, the Nimitta Shastra.
Nimitta.
So, like, also I didn't know before that it's Nimitta Shastra. I had like the notion that people say something in these dog barking because this.
Yes, yes.
So, in today's present day, I believe these all things were superstition because the society made us believe that. So, to get, should I like try to learn more about it or should I leave it actually?
Actually, it's good to learn these things. There are lots of subtle sciences which we'll benefit from. But the priority is that knowledge by which we get liberation. That we need to get quickly because we don't know when we'll die, when we'll live. By that time we should reach spiritual perfection. And Nimitta Shastra has been published in a book in ISKCON now. Sometimes you have the lizard makes a sound. So that is explained. If you speak and that noise comes, it means what you said is true. That is Nimitta. Yeah, so many things are there. Once there were, some things are very obvious. This huge tsunami that happened in Indonesia, I think 2014, 12, it came in India also. There was some earthquake in Indonesia. One island, they didn't die. Why? They were told by their ancestors, if ever you see all the animals are running up the hill, you also run up. So now this one morning they found every single animal, cow, goat, dog, cat, snake are running away up. Actually, when a natural disaster comes, this is karma. But animals are not meant to suffer that karma. Many times in these things, people have experienced that the animals are barking or going mad or running away just before an earthquake or some natural disaster. Their Paramatma inside is telling them, you get saved, you are not going to be punished. These rascal people are eating fish, now they have to be punished. So now, all the animals ran up, all these people ran up. And then some asking, why shall we go? Why should we? They said we should run up, but why? We don't know. Anyway, let's follow them. So they went up, then they were saved. All the surrounding islands, everyone died. So this news came. So what I'm saying is like that, there are lots of things you may not understand in ancient knowledge, but they can save us. Next question.
So for the fact that memory and intelligence are not part of the brain.
Yes, correct.
We used to believe that memory is much dependent on the memory part.
Yeah.
It's much more dependent on brain. So what I used to do is eat walnut or almond to improve the memory and all. So if now believing that memory is not part of brain, what step should I take in order to do that?
Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says, Matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. From me come memory, knowledge and intelligence. What you're saying is correct. Ayurveda says to eat certain things to improve the memory. That is there. But now where is it going because of the brain, all this? I don't understand that. But Ayurveda says that. They give some things like this Brahmi, Rasayana. They improve the memory and brain. But we cannot get something beyond our karma. Something is in our karma, we will not get. And we are missing it because of karma. But we, at a certain stage, again we'll get back the intelligence. So at a certain stage, medicines won't work, then they'll work. This doctor worked, he cured me. But it was supposed to be, actually, that was the time that we are supposed to heal ourselves. So how do we live our life? We just follow the guidelines. Like Veda says, you do this, Ayurveda, take this medicine. But in Ayurvedic doctor, they'll tell you, we treat, but he heals. They understand that. So yes, you follow those guidelines, but then is it going to brain or what? That is explained. I mean, Bhagavad Gita says 15 shlok, that Krishna says, I give intelligence, memory. Yet, Veda has given us some ways we can be cured. We can take it, and if it's in our karma, we'll get cured. We'll get more memory. Okay, no more questions? Okay, there are 2 announcements. Okay, announcement number 1, we have online lectures, Monday to Friday. Now we are getting much more into it, okay? And they'll be on Gmeet, every day in the evening, 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. So whoever wants to join should go to the mess by 8 o'clock, be in the room, 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. We'll have different topics. It's important to hear spiritual topics to deepen faith and spirituality. If it happens regularly, it's good. You can have, every evening we'll have this facility. Okay, it's beginning next week, basically from tomorrow. And the topic is reincarnation. We'll release details in the groups. Every day we'll cover the full topic, what other religions are saying about reincarnation, what is the truth, what is the actual knowledge, and how it works, everything about it. Okay? So everyone can join this online session. Okay? Second announcement, if you recall that we had a visit on Diwali to ISKCON Salem and Srirangam. Okay? But many people could not attend. So we are doing it again, this time in Pongal. Okay? Now, the dates are bottom right, you see, 14th to 18th January. Okay, we'll have a visit to Srirangam, which is the biggest temple in the world. There Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 4 months. We'll go where he lived, and he carved some deities of Jagannath. They are still there being worshipped in the Sri Sampradaya style. So we'll go there and take darshan of Ranganath. And in Salem, we'll spend also this the rest of the days. That is the first full stone temple built according to Shastra. Temple, Goshala. We'll have video shows, presentations, kirtan. Okay, those who want to attend, it's from 14 to 18, which is a holiday. That is Pongal period. Those who want to attend, this is the price, 1950. Okay, and train bookings are opening on 14th of this month. So please, as soon as you can, you tell whoever is confirmed, we'll book the tickets. Okay, that is on 14. Now, just a rough show of hand. How many would like to come for this? We have to have a rough idea. Okay, all right. But of course, you confirm and everything. So please, as soon as you can, okay, confirm. All right. Okay. Hare Krishna.